Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co-host Seb. Let's just get right into the bullshit. Did the 76ers get the steal of the draft with VJ Edgecombe? And I ask this question because we see the start Philadelphia has gone off to 3-0. I would have never expected that, especially the way Embiid has looked. But Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. Also, shout out to Quinn Grimes. I feel like they got a young nucleus of guards there that they should just try to build around. But how you feel about VJ Edgecombe and just how you feel about the Sixers right now?
Um, they're off to a good start. A lot of people had them, not doing so good just with just the injuries of just Joel Embiid as well as Paul George, who has yet to make his debut this season. But they got enough to a good start though. Like you said, the young core nucleus between Maxi, Quentin Grimes, as well as VJ Edgecombe has done him justice thus far. I think with them is more about pushing the tempo, getting out in transition. They like to play at a certain speed and certain pace. Usually, you really can't do that with a guy like Embiid out there or Paul George because they kind of work in the half court set the best. But this team is a young and gunning team, like to go up and down the court. VJ Edgecombe, to your question, when you asking is he still the draft? I say no because he was what the second or third pick, I believe. And I think for him, it was just like I think what he was capable of coming into this draft. Maybe some questions more about his shooting, but he's answered the call thus far for these first three games. Somebody that's shown his athleticism has fit the mold within the NBA of today's game of just getting up and down transition. He's very relentless at the basket. I like what I've seen. His shooting doesn't look bad this far too. I look at a guy at VJ Edgecombe. We spoke about it even before. This is somebody who he wants the moment. He wants to be great because, like he said it before. He said, "I came up when I came to this country. I had nothing. Like, feel me? Like, I just had a basketball and a dream." They just literally showed a clip of him, having to cut a basket, and make a basketball hoop out of it and shit like that too. So somebody like that who's really just goal was just to be great at basketball and feel me, just make a name for himself and shit like that. He's gonna play with an edge every single night. I like the way he plays the game of basketball. He doesn't take no breaks. Like he's young, energetic. He's definitely gonna do good stuff. But as far as a steal, I wouldn't say that though, because he was drafted second to me. I think he's just beating a little more expectations. Maybe people thought he was probably gonna start off a little slow or struggle a little. There's questions in the draft about just what can he do besides finish at the basket, but he's answering them right now too. But feel me? I like VJ Combs' game a lot. I think he's gonna, have a fantastic rookie season though. But I just don't think I wouldn't necessarily call it a steal though, because I feel like he's doing his thing.
Well, for the Philadelphia 76ers, it was a steal, right? This was a team that last year had high expectations coming into the season. The big three of Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. They get an F grade for what they did last season, right? You can say it was due to injury. You can say it was due to they wasn't able to play together. Whatever excuse you want to make, that experiment did not work, and then they was able to get a top three draft pick. Once again, I say it's still the Sixers wasn't supposed to be still getting lottery picks at this point, right? Because when you signed the Paul George to a 4 year, like $130 million deal, you re-signed MB to whatever deal he got, and then you have Tyrese Maxey was to win a championship for you. So then for you to be the top third pick in the draft, and then to get a VJ Edgecombe, I think that was a steal for them, right? And then even if you look at the draft, the number one pick, clear cut, was Cooper Flag. That's what was media driven. That's what everybody talked about. Cooper Flag was the guy. Through these three games, VJ Edgecombe has looked way better than him. Just way better now. It's only three games, right? So we're not gonna act like one's gonna have a better career than the other. I think they're both gonna have great careers. But then you can even talk about an Ace Bailey who was drafted over him from the Utah Jazz, right? I think right now, imagine if VJ Edgecombe was on the Dallas Mavericks and they was able to push the pace with that type of guard. I think they will have a better record than they do right now. All right, if you had Adam to the Utah Jazz, I think just the nucleus that they're building over there, I think that would have benefited them. So I would say, yeah, he is thus far the steal of the draft. He looks great. To your point, he came from nothing. Those type of players just already come with a certain type of grit, just from what they was brought up into. He does have to work on his jump shot, especially in today's NBA. They are going to force him to start, to knock down that 3-point shot as the games, we get more and more into the season. If by God's glory the Sixer was to make the playoffs, they're gonna force that kid to have to knock down shots. So hopefully he could find. I don't know if it's the trainers, if he could train with ex retired player who was a great shooter. Who the hell knows? But he just needs to get that. But attacking the basket, pushing the pace, him and Tyrese Maxey together is just explosive, right? Because now it's like Tyrese Maxey just having the ball. Pushing the pace, you don't only have to worry about him. You have to worry about VJ Edgecombe just on that other wing, just doing a lot of those great things that we do see from Tyrese Maxey. This also leads me to saying, I said this the first episode, you have to trade Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid doesn't fit what they do. It wouldn't matter if Joel Embiid was scoring 40 points a night because he likes to play in the half court, like you already said, just like a Paul George. It doesn't fit VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey just trying to push that pace. I don't like this mix together. It's like it's like you made a pie and then just in the recipe you got barbecue sauce in it. Right, barbecue sauce is a flavor that a lot of people like. Right, there's nothing wrong with barbecue sauce, but if I'm eating the apple pie, I don't want to taste no fucking barbecue. Right, so they have to move on from that. Paul George, I think you can work more into the type of way they do want to play, just based off his skill set. But Joel Embiid, he just can't do nothing in transition. He can't push the ball in transition. He can't get back in transition. Transition, I don't even know if he could say the word transition. Right? I just think that they have to move on from that. See what you can get. Sometimes you get a diamond in the rough because going into this season, no one was saying that this is the Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe show. This was about to be again. Are we gonna get a Joel Embiid to play, and are we gonna get a Paul George to play? So they now have a way to somehow get into the playoffs this season and actually make some noise in this top heavy Eastern Conference. I like what I've seen from Nick Nurse thus far. He's a great coach, and I feel due to all the injuries that's happened to this team thus far, we haven't got to see the light shined on him. But once again, to answer the question, I definitely do think he was the steal of the draft. Not saying he wasn't a lottery pick because he definitely was, but there was two people that was talked about way more, right, than VJ Edgecombe. Cooper Flag for just being that guy out of Duke. He was just the most polished player, right? And then you had Ace Bailey. Even when it came to him turning down workouts and interviews and this, that, and the third, how much did we really hear about VJ Edgecombe? I think that might have bothered him a little bit too. He had that chip on his shoulder. And I love what I've seen from the Sixers thus far.
I do too, and hopefully they could, keep up the same momentum. Ride his coattail out even when Joel Embiid gets back. I think he plays tonight too. Actually, just keep building what they got going on. I just think that now you just decide what you want to do with the certain pieces, like Joel Embiid and Paul George, like you said. My thing is though, does when Paul George get back, does he take away from what VJ Edgecombe is doing right now? Though, that's one of my concerns too. Because right now, you get all the touches, you Quinn Grimes, but there's only one basketball in this case scenario.
Yeah, I'm already sold. Trade him. Like, I just get him out of here. Like, I just you already know once you see Paul George and Embiid on the court, the type of song that plays in your head, right? We already know what we're hearing. It's just giving me
You light my fire.
yeah, like it's just come on, man. Like once you start taking the pictures like this, man, and then and then you holding the ball out just in those media pictures. Not all jokes aside, Paul George and Joel Embiid can probably still contribute something to a NBA team, but not this team. Your time has ran out. Everything got an expiration date on it. Some a lot quicker than others. Paul George, you got the bag. Like wonderful, but you haven't produced nothing but podcasts. Joel Embiid, your body just from what you've shown us can't hold up. Sorry to break the news, and I'm one of the biggest Joel Embiid fans. But there comes a point to where you're being delusional. Like I'm not doing that. They have to move on from both of them. Goodbye.
Adios.
I would trade Paul George for Mac McClung, nigga.
Uh, I trade Paul George for an eighth.
Nah, and eighth as well. Nigga don't even want a player. Nigga want cash considerations. Like that's OD.
On Zach,
But say it again.
I want Zach consideration.
Yeah, it's our considerations. But shout out to the Sixers. I'm very interested to see how do they keep pushing forward. Do they play tonight against the Wizards? Is that right? Am I bugging?
Yeah, double check, double
I
check.
know, no, that for a fact they do. So they play against the Wizards tonight. But then I can't even say they'll win tonight because, like we said in our last episode, make sure to watch that on YouTube. There's not a bad team. Like the Wizards ain't a team you're just gonna roll over. So I mean, I would still favor the Sixers, but if the Wizards win tonight, I just wouldn't be shocked. But once again, shout out Philly. Moving on to our next topic. We got two NBC coast to coast games tonight. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. We have your New York Knicks going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe both teams sit at 2-1 on the season.
Yeah,
Right. The Knicks just losing their last game to Miami, and the Bucks losing their last game to
was it Detroit?
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Detroit.
I'll tell
I'm
you.
drawing a. I'm Seb will fact check that for us, but I'm drawing a blank.
Cleveland, Cleveland, Cleveland,
All
Cleveland.
right. They just lost to the Cavs. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell putting on the type of show they did. But just how do you feel about this matchup?
It's always a good matchup between the Bucks and the Knicks. I think for the most part last year they have had their number. I think when it comes to the Bucks, I've seen a little bit of their games. I just watched them play against Toronto. It's really I don't know what it is with them. I just think that everybody just like plays through Giannis, and when Giannis is not out there or he's getting denied the ball, everybody just kind of looks lost. I'm looking at certain players like there's this kid Ryan Rollins, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like his game a lot most when I'm watching Milwaukee. When I'm watching the Milwaukee Bucks, I think he's the only one that I believe is like fearless when it comes to like just creating for himself instead of looking just to get the ball on others. I'm looking at guys like Bobby Portis. I need more out of him. Miles Turner is literally Brooke Lopez 2.0, just younger. When I'm watching him play, like he's not crashing, like he refuses to go in the paint. Like he refuses literally to go in the paint. If it's not a pick and pop, he's not doing it. Like this shit is sickening. Like they paid him all that money to literally be Brooke Lopez 2.0. Like it's literally the same mold. I'm looking at him just like, nigga, Brooke Lopez literally used to just sit in that corner and wait for the 3-point shot, bro. This nigga is not cutting, bro. He's the crazy part is he's more mobile than fucking Brooke Lopez is, and he's younger, bro. And yeah, I just expect a little bit more out of him, though. I just think that they need a consistent factor. Besides Giannis, they're not a bad team, though. Really, like it's gonna be like feel me. It's the East right now, and I feel like all the spots are open in the East, and they could definitely do something. Like they can finish a top 5 seed though. But you just gotta have to see who's my second best player, and I think that's one of the questions to where it could be anybody on any given night though. And that's not really something you want to have on a team like that. Usually on the team, you know who your second best player is. You know what I'm saying? On any given night, could be a guy like fucking Miles Turner, it could be Kuzma, it could be Bobby Portis, it could be Kevin Porter. Like you don't have a definitive second best player in Milwaukee, and I think that's where the struggle is going to lie for them, though. So tonight against the Knicks, where they know that who their two best players are, is going to be it's going to be a good matchup. I just want to see how the Knicks bounce back from that loss against Miami, because Miami definitely came in, they handled business on their home court. They got off to a great start, and the thing is with the Knicks now is what do you do when the 3-point shots are not hitting? Mike Brown has emphasized 3-point shooting. We need to get up more 3-point shots. When it's not hitting, what do we do now? And that was a question that should have been answered going forward past this Miami game. Because now I look at it, Jalen Brunson just said, you know what? I'm just go back to what I do, and I got to go get me some buckets. I got to get me some buckets. If Carl Anthony Towns is not having a game, he's struggling, or if everybody else is struggling around me, I need to be the one to pick up the slack. So I want to see how do the Knicks bounce back. I do believe that they play at home. Let me just double check that. Or they play in Milwaukee.
I think it's on the road for the
Yeah,
Knicks.
it's on the road. So I want to see how well they bounce back on the road, though, because road games are a little bit more important than home games. I feel like everybody plays like usually stars play good at on the road. I mean, at home, but you want to see how you bounce back after a loss on the road. So you want to get your road trip going. You want to get at least start off 1-1 or something like that. You got to make statements because you got to win. You got to win games on the road in the playoffs. So you got to build that confidence. You have to actually have a better record on the road than you do at home to really just look legit too. Because you got to go into enemy territory and just really just handle business. So I want to see how does the Knicks bounce back after that loss.
No, yeah, I agree with a lot of your points. When it comes to the Milwaukee side, I'll just piggyback off the Miles Turner thing. I'll say the same thing I said to DeAndre Ayton. You just gotta be more aggressive, right? Miles Turner, 6'11", 7 foot. Give him some post ups, right? Put him in the pick and roll with Giannis, and just have that double big pick and roll. But him just sitting at the 3 point line is only gonna unlock this team, but so much. You already brought up Brooke Lopez 2.0. He can do, I feel, more than Brooke Lopez, but I don't know what type of system they're running. Wait. Isn't Doc Rivers still the coach, or am I bugging?
Yeah,
They're not changing nothing.
he ain't going nowhere. Trust.
Doc Rivers hasn't changed his offense since '08. Come on, man. Is Darvin Ham still on that bench?
His hands are in his pocket still, man.
So I don't know if you was expecting something different from last season. You're gonna have different players doing the same thing. You
Hey,
took the you took the McDonald's workers and brought them to Burger King.
hey,
They
go
gonna
hard.
they're gonna do the same thing. Come
Hey,
on,
go
man.
hard to them dudes.
Shout out to Darvin Ham. But the two players I'm looking at moving forward from Milwaukee, and I want to see shout out to I want to get his name down. Colin Howard, right there, dude from the Hornets,
Which one? The commentator?
the commentator.
Oh, Eric Collins.
Eric Collins, Kyle Kuzma. What do you got? Like Kyle Kuzma is one of those dudes, former NBA champion, right? Can put the ball on the floor and create his own shot. We're gonna need him to average 15 to 20 points a night. He has the body type. He has the type of skill. What the fuck are we doing? I don't care about fashion week and going to Dubai and drinking water with the fucking camels. I don't give a fuck about any of that. You dyeing your hair blonde and the long shirts. That has nothing to do with anything. 15 to 20 a night.
They
Come
traded
on, man.
Middleton for you. They traded Middleton.
Yeah, you got to be in that Chris Middleton role, because then if that's the case, what the fuck was the point? Like, 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 like,
Nah,
like,
G
like,
shit, what's the point?
like, what are we doing? Come on, Kuzma and Cole Anthony. Where the fuck are you at, Mister Timberland? Mister doing a dunk contest in Tim's and thought you was about to get tens across the board. Come on, man. That's someone I seen in Orlando who was a spark plug. Can get his own shot, can knock down the 3 point ball. This can't just be past the water Giannis. Because I think Giannis is about to get worn out. I think I just looked at his stats, over 100 points already, over, I think, like 35 plus rebounds, a whole bunch of us. That's not going to work all season. All right. That nigga already be tired from having all those fucking babies. All right, and no disrespect to the family, but he's already putting in work off the court. On the court, you gotta give the nigga a break. Like, goddamn, nigga,
Yo, bro.
he the
Oh,
Greek, he's the Greek freak, but my nigga, can someone else score?
yeah, he needs an off night, man. Kevin Porter, man. That's somebody that could, be a spark plug
I
at
don't know. I never know when Kevin Porter's head is at. All right, I don't know if he's thinking about some side chick. I I don't know if he's thinking about the 40-40 club. I don't know what the hell he be thinking about. So I can't put too much stock in him. But Cole Anthony. I know your daddy be talking to you. Shout out to Greg Anthony, nigga. Come on now. Kuzma?
Yeah, Kuzma's supposed to have a season.
Come
If he
on, brother.
performs, man, man, we gonna have to start making our first team on trash, bro. Don't end up on our first team on trash.
Come on, man. Like y'all supplementary parts gotta do more. Miles Turner game isn't gonna change, and neither is Bobby Porter. So I don't got too much to fucking say. Bobby Porter's been playing the same since fucking Chicago. His game ain't gonna develop any more than what it is. Pick and pop, mid range, nigga, and 5 texts per every 10 games. All right, so I don't want to hear nothing else about that. If the Knicks lose tonight, Doc Rivers on the hot seat. All right, I'm not doing this Doc Rivers carousel and Darvin Ham. Like I'm sick of it.
Nah, Doc Rivers got tenure, bro. He's
Tim
good.
Legler's over there, nigga. Remember I said it to start the season, nigga. Shit, nigga, hire Doris Burke. But the way things is going, they're not gonna get through the season. Just pass the ball to Giannis, nigga. Come on now. But did I even speak on the Knicks? I just went on a rant. My fault. The New York Knicks, they're just the Knicks. To your point, they're putting up more threes this season. I feel like this team is what it is. I feel like they know that the East isn't that deep this year. I think they're really just we'll see the best version of this team in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson's gonna do his thing. Cat's gonna do his thing. They utilize the bench more, but I don't got too much to say about the Knicks. They are favored to win this game, and I'm not surprised just based off roster construction. But if I was being realistic with a prediction, I would think the Knicks win. And if the Bucks, if they, I guess, can play towards that home crowd and give them some momentum, I think they'll be okay. But I think this comes down to a coaching battle. You got not Doc Rivers against Mike Brown, two legendary coaches here in the NBA. Let's see who comes up with the better game plan and whose hands will not be in the pockets. Whew. But moving now to the West Coast, right? A late night game. You got the Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Golden State Warriors.
The old heads versus the old heads.
Nah, for real, the two oldest teams in the NBA. I'm expecting a slow pace, but I'm expecting the stars to do their thing. Um, if I'm talking about a winner, I would probably put my money on Golden State. Um, I just trust their big three over the big three of the Los Angeles Clippers. Um, but I think this game just comes down to the others, right? For the Warriors, the Jonathan Kumingas of the world, the Gary Paytons, the Buddy Hield, are they gonna be able to get those timely threes and get those timely stops? And for the Los Angeles Clippers, right? You got the Chris Pauls of the world, right? The Bradley Beals, the Zubaks. Are they going to be able to do their thing? I think the X factor actually might be that matchup down low with Zubac and Draymond Green, right? If Zubac is going to be able just to get off and score whenever he wants, I think the Warriors are gonna have to adjust to it like they did in that first game when they seen DeAndre Ayton was about to get off, and then how will the Clippers react to that zone? But that's another coaching battle that's going to be very interesting too, right? You got Tyronn Lue on one end, Steve Kerr on the other. I think this comes down to the fourth quarter and then fourth quarter execution. But to end the night, I'm expecting a great game. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to overtime.
For this game, I would have to go with the Clippers. I just think that just how they just was able to bounce back after that horrendous, god awful first game. I think they just said, "Fuck it, it's go time." And I think to your point as well, you said how the matchup between Draymond Green and Zubac. You got to see how that plays out. I think it favors in Zubac favor. I kind of like what I've seen thus far between the pick and roll with James Harden and Zubac. I think that's just been something that they've been working on for I believe now it's what year 2 or 3 with that pick and roll, and I think it's just getting better throughout the time. So I think that's going to be one of their main emphasis too. Kawhi Leonard has definitely looked like he's gotten his rhythm thus far too, and I don't expect that to slow down. James Harden in a regular season, I could always count on him to be good in the regular season. Like this game don't really count for nothing, like for me, but just a record early on in the season. So he's getting in the groove of things too as well. I feel like their bench depth definitely does help more so than on the Warrior side too. I think Warriors more so like they have strength within their first maybe 6 or 7 man rotation, but I think anything a little bit after that, they might kind of struggle a little bit too. So I got to see how that plays out. When I look at the Clippers bench, I do see a guy like Brook Lopez, who's sharing minutes with Zubac too, so they can integrate them in a different style of offense. Majority of Brook Lopez points has definitely came from the 3 point line. So when they want to switch up the offense and do a 5 out offense, that definitely does help too. So with the Clippers side, I think it's more so is they could switch up their style depending on who their matchup is, more so than what the Warriors can. I feel like the Warriors really just give you their best with their star players. Steph is somebody that just been erupting for like 30 points at any given night too. But I expect it to be a very close game. To your point, overtime would definitely be one of those good things to have on a Tuesday night game between two tough teams. But I just think that the Clippers are just like they slowly finding their groove too as well. It could go either way though, but I just think that the Clippers might have the edge tonight.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Like I said, that's probably the game of the night, and I think everyone's gonna have their eyeballs on that one. But to end the show, we got two teams struggling right now. One of them who I had very high hopes for, but still early. You got the Orlando Magic sitting at 1-3 right now, and then you got the Dallas Mavericks also sitting at 1-3. So the question to you is, which team slow start had you scratching your head more?
Uh, I would say because both ones is like very confusing because both teams are talented. Let me go on and say the Orlando Magic. I think with just the talent you have with just adding a Tyus Jones, adding a Desmond Bain. You still got Paulo and Franz Wagner. You're not supposed. I don't think you're supposed to be, losing like that. I think you're supposed to have a little bit better record. I think it's relatively still early, so I'm not gonna just full on gas it. But I just think that you're supposed to be a little bit better too. What are the Magic? They're what 0-3? Oh, 1-3.
One,
1-3.
one.
1-3. Yeah, 1-3. I just think that after the first season win, and you feel me, and it's against a Miami team that they almost lost to. Dude, they could have easily been 0-4. Like literally, could have been 4-4 because they the first game against Miami was like a nail biter. Like it wasn't that sudden. It wasn't sweet. So for them right now, I think it's just an adjustment period of just getting everybody involved. But 1-3 is just it's not who they are. I don't think that's some. I don't think that's really just represents what Orlando Magic basketball is right now. I think eventually they'll start getting it going. But for right now, it's just kind of disappointing to see a team that could have easily be like what I can understand if you're 2-2, 3-1, like feel me, but 1-3, I don't think nobody's seen this coming from this team thus far. Desmond Bain is a big acquisition that you bring in to switch up how you play Orlando Magic basketball. Usually they had a bunch of tall guys, really couldn't space the floor, couldn't really shoot. They tried KCP last year to help him, but he didn't really have like one of them good seasons like that, like how he was accustomed to having in Denver. But yeah, you try to switch it up now. So now it's just finding your niche and what works for you. Paulo has low key been struggling, sort of. Couldn't can't really buy a 3 point shot to save his life right now, even if that shit was on sale. Franz Wagner, you could tell like you want to know who's the defendant player. Is it going to be Paulo or is it going to be France? Like, majority going to say Paulo because that's just the guy. But Franz Wagner is just as equally talented to him, too. So I think there's a strong line between who's our go to guy and who's filming going to be. Too. You got to have like a 1A, 1B situation. And Desmond Bain, I think, just coming to a new team, still trying to find his niche. It's like a still adjustment period, though, but that doesn't excuse their record to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, when it comes to the Orlando Magic, I'm not too worried. I think as the season goes along, this team will just continue to get more familiar with each other. You just brought up the acquisition of Desmond Bain. See where you can utilize him the best. and how he could maximize, his role on this team. But they got a lot of young players. When it comes to whose team it is Pablo. What he can do on both ends of the basketball, is just something that I like to watch. I think his offensive game is going to continue to get better. But it's just growing pains, right? We thought last season it was just the injuries, but this is still a team just working, right? You still got Wendell Carter down there. I hope his mind is focused on basketball and not Angel fucking Reese, nigga. All right, so you better get it the fuck together. All right, but young team, I'm not too worried. For me, when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks, they had very high expectations coming into the season. But how good is Dallas? Right? So right now you got no Kyrie Irving. Granted, Anthony Davis won his championship and as a second option. We've seen Anthony Davis as a number one option. His teams were at best average. Wasn't contenders, it wasn't nothing like that. It was average. Right? Let's keep moving down the line. When was the last time you was confident in Clay Thompson?
Clay been Clay since what, 5 years now? Going on 5 years?
Not Najee Marshall. He's not knocking anybody's socks off. He's a decent player. You got D'Angelo Russell. How much faith you got in him?
Next question.
Well, Max Christie, a decent young prospect, but he's not a world beater. And Derek Lively, a good defensive big, but he don't got no offensive game. He's more of a lob threat. He looked his best when you had a Luka Doncic.
Right.
And then you got Cooper Flag, who he's gonna go through growing pains. He's okay. All right, now Seb, you was very high on this Cooper Flag. He's about to save the world and defeat Iron Man and Captain America and all this. He's he he's good. Is he great? Is he no, I'm trying to be serious. Do you think he has potential to be a top three, top five player in the league?
Yeah, you just got to
Because
be.
he's nothing. Because I also want to say this. He's nothing close to Luka Doncic.
I don't think they expected him to be Luka Doncic.
Okay. But I'm just letting it be known they had a player to where you can't find another one like that. I feel I could find another Cooper Flag. Not saying he's bad in any aspect, but I can find another Cooper Flag.
I mean, first of all, I don't think. First of all, they struck gold when they even got the first pick, which is kind of rigged. You trade Luca, and all of a sudden you get the first pick. That don't seem kind of off to you.
Call the FBI.
Yeah,
Er-
that
er-
don't seem kind of
all
off.
these team getting Ricos, nigga. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, why nobody talking about that? You just magically get the number one pick. So I don't think they drafted him saying, "Oh, you're our next Luca," because they didn't even know well, to our knowledge, they didn't know that they was gonna get the first pick. They like this was a team that just made the play and shit like that. But yeah, I just think that with them it's still time though. But you need a point guard. Like D'Angelo Russell is like I'm not gonna violate. I'm not gonna violate. He's just not it. All right, let's just put it that he's not the answer, especially in the Wild West too. He's not it. Kyrie Irving got to come back. They need somebody to relieve scoring duties for sure,
But
and
even when Kyrie comes back, are they better than San Antonio?
not as of right now.
Are they better than OKC?
You know,
Are they better than Denver?
no.
I just gave you three teams right there. I think when LeBron and Luca comes back, I don't think they're better than the Lakers. I don't think when Anthony Edwards comes back, are they better than the Timberwolves?
That's up there. That's a little. It's debatable.
But I just shout out to the platform. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But I just gave you about 5 to 6 teams, so you're not confident they're better than any of them.
Yeah, but then again, I wouldn't necessarily put my stock in right now.
Golden State.
I wouldn't put my stock in right now though, because they once again they still haven't found a groove yet. It's still relatively early, so that's why I'm not
Okay.
in full panic mode.
Kyrie's gonna bring more scoring.
Yeah.
Granted,
And I
he's
think
not
that's
gonna
what they
make,
need.
he's not gonna make them better defensively. And I love Kyrie Irving, so this isn't not hate on Kyrie Irving, but he's not gonna make them better defensively. And he's an average passer at best. And now him coming back scoring all those points, what does that do for Cooper Flag?
It might take away from him, but now you have more freedom to do a little bit of facilitating. I
That's
think,
your first overall pick.
yeah, but you put him in a situation now to where he's dealing with, he's not going to just a team to where he could just go out and do whatever and make errors and learn how to mistake. He's going out and learning how to be like a professional at the highest level too for Dallas.
We didn't draft him for a professional, nigga. We could have fucking hired Garrett Temple, nigga. You want a professional on the court? He not number one on this media because rather be professional.
So you're gonna hand him the rankings over of the team to.
Yes,
I wouldn't do that though. Oh,
cause you gave away Luka Doncic, nigga.
and you think that he's just gonna come in and do Luka Doncic shit just because
No,
you
but
drafted
you
him
have
one?
to give him the keys to the city, nigga. Like Kyrie Irving is how old?
It's like what 35, but that's still your.
Well, I don't know if he's that old, but nigga said to just 30. I don't know if he's 35, but he's definitely about to be out of his prime soon. Anthony Davis ain't a spring chicken, nigga. I
That's still
already know. I already know. You waiting for him to fall on the court and not get up. You know, you just coming eventually, nigga.
still a
You don't know when.
That's still a 25 and 13 point per game score. We're gonna say
Facts,
nah. We're gonna
facts,
say nah. We're gonna say
facts.
nah. You know what? Let's let Cooper Flag do. You just follow Cooper
Clay
Flag.
hasn't hit 4 threes in 4 years, nigga.
Clay's occupied off the court.
Now he's winning. Hold on. How about listen off the court? No, I don't got nothing to say. All
Oh,
right. Shout out to you. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. I see what y'all doing, but we're talking basketball. When was the last time Clay hit 4 threes?
bro,
I'm asking you.
he's occupied, bro. You think he cares about 4 threes, bro? He
That
cares,
well, the Dallas fans cares about them four
he
threes,
cares
nigga.
about them post game. He hit threes off the court.
My boy, my boy's indulging in some extracurricular activities.
Bro, he's not locked in, bro. He's not locked in, bro. It's
Well,
not.
that's what I'm saying. This team, I think, sounded good theoretically, but as these days keep going in weeks, I want you to remember. I'm asking you, how good is the Dallas Mavericks? It sounds good. Listen, it sounds great, but right now it's like you're making a gumbo, and it's like right now you just taste it. And it's like why does it taste like why is it missing some salt, some paprika, some sazon, some like it's not working.
That ain't it.
And I don't care how many goggles Anthony Davis wears, nigga. You ain't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But do you have anything more to say about these two teams? This wasn't a bash the bad teams hour, but we gotta start calling a spade a spade.
Nah, we did say we're gonna be, at these teams' neck a little bit more, just off the strength that you gotta perform. If you don't perform, you're gonna get criticized.
Feel me? But is there anything else you need to say about the NBA as of right now?
Um, and what I gotta say is we had another 50-point game, man. The league is on crack right now. Let's see, the league is on crack right now, man. Yo, these players gotta get drug tested. How the fuck Larry Marketing just had a 50-point game? Did you see this coming?
They ain't playing no damn defense.
You think that's what it is? We're not playing defense no more. We just fuck defense.
But for the most part, yeah.
How long do you think this keeps up though, bro? Because like that, bro, like everybody, yo, what's going on, man?
Or
He had 40 last night.
listen, until further notice.
Shit, man, I like it though. It's more interesting too. I think just more offense. You know, people like us, we fuck with defense, but it's like when the offense is rolling, it's a high scoring game. I think it's more entertaining. I think
I would I,
I
would-
would
I would disagree because I think if we got a game to where people was dead ass taking those defensive positions seriously and really on that, you feel me? Like remember when Lonzo Ball came into the league? What did Patrick Beverly do?
clamped him up
From where?
half court, not full court. He plays on full court.
Right, and then what was the media talking about the whole next day?
Lonzo Ball struggling.
So I'm saying like it's not like defense isn't entertaining. It's just right now, I guess what's selling for the NBA is offense. But we gotta move on to our next show. So everybody make sure y'all take a bathroom break. Just feel me, smoke y'all nasty ass cigarettes real quick, and then come back to watch because we had to do a WWE episode. But I want to thank everybody for watching this episode. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable Double underscore. Follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook for details and developments on the platform. Jersey.
Yo, I didn't even see Lou's comments. Yo, what up, Lou's? You told wait, I didn't even see the comments. Yo, what the hell? Yo, yo, hold on. We didn't even see the comments the whole time though. We told you fools magic is full gold bums, period. Jesus, yo, what up, Luz? I didn't even goddamn Dallas is straight garbage. And Seb, I told you about Austin. All right, now everybody's an Austin Reeves fan. Let's see. You can't find another Cooper flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Well, nah, I just had to read these comments though. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. My fault for not reading the comments, y'all. We definitely gonna get back. Keep tuning in though. We're gonna loose. You know you're more than welcome to pull up, man.